You're listening to Bodify Insider from Bodify Functional Fitness.
Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos al podcast Bodify Insider. Nos encontramos en un podcast que, bueno, teníamos ya tiempo. Yo creo que desde que comenzamos a hacer el podcast, le habíamos dicho, vamos a hacer ese podcast y nunca lo habíamos hecho.
Yeah, we always put it on the back burner, but it's time.
Y finalmente estamos aquí. Primero que nada, bienvenida a Tony Ferdín, que no comúnmente nos acompaña.
Hola.
Y acá, pues al señor Pete Science ya lo conocen. Chequen el último podcast, estuvo bastante bueno, World Tough Smarter. Pero el día de hoy vamos a hablar precisamente de cómo surgió básicamente Bodify, ¿ok? Cómo hoy estamos sentados aquí platicando acerca de esto. Y comenzó hace muchos años.
How the baby was created.
Tell us,
Chewy.
Bueno, según como...
Well, I don't know if you want to call it like that. Then they're gonna put another idea in their heads.
Yo creo que antes de llegar hacia la historia, no sé si quieren platicar tantito como que de dónde veníamos cada uno, ¿no? O sea, como que aquí nos conocimos, pero de dónde veníamos cada quien. Voy a comenzar yo, que en mi caso estaba trabajando en Art Communications, en la radio, y una vez llegaron a la radio, dijeron, oye, tenemos esta promoción para Gold Gym, para que vayas, y es un precio corporativo, no sé qué tanto, ok. Long story short, dije, ok, voy a entrar, y entré a Gold Gym, y pues ahí estuve entrenando en Gold Gym por un tiempo, no sabía ni lo que estaba haciendo. Pues sí, obviamente iba hacia 2, 3 cosas y terminaba en el treadmill, ¿no? Pero ¿cómo terminó conociendo a estos dos individuos? Primero que nada, una vez pedí asesoría nutricional, me habían agendado con otro coach, me terminaron mandando a que está acá.
Y ahí fue. I think that's where I come in Chewy's birth of fitness in his life.
Básicamente, y ahí fue que conocí a Tony, básicamente, platicamos un poquito, y a los días después, me lo encontraba en los pasillos y siempre me decía, hey, wanna work out? Desde atrás de una máquina así.
Yeah.
No sé qué. No, llegaba y me platicaba acerca de un programa que iba a comenzar, que es P90X. Entonces, al momento que me dice P90X, dije, como que me acordé todo el marketing y todo lo que yo veía en televisión sobre P90X, y dije, me gusta. En su momento, y siendo muy honestos, yo no estaba acostumbrado a gastar tanto en lo que era el fitness, ¿no? Yo antes gastaba, no sé, $20 al mes en mi gimnasio. Hice el upgrade a Gold Gym en ese entonces en $53. Y para mí eso ya era un dineral, o sea, estoy en Hollywood gastando millones. Pero Tony me dice, no, pues son creo que $80 adicionales. $80 adicionales. Entonces básicamente mis pagos de gimnasio iban a subir a arriba de $125, $130. Pero dije, quiero hacer algo diferente, quiero hacer algo distinto, y fue cuando comencé en esa clase, y me inscribí, si mal no recuerdo, la de las 6 de la mañana.
We started 7.
7?
Was it 7 in the morning?
No. I don't remember.
Okay, there was a portion of the time where we're doing
Then we
6
went to
a.m.
6.
Or 7 and we'll do 6 or 6 to 7, one of those two,
Yeah.
because I decided to divide classes.
Yeah, no, you guys made me wake up super early. So it was 7, and then he moved it to 6, and that was like killer for me because I had to wake up at 5 in the morning.
That's true.
It was
Cierto.
brutal.
Like
Yeah,
6,
first we got him to 7, then we got him to
6 felt like 4 a.m. today. Nowadays, so like,
Exactly. Yeah, now
God.
6 is no big deal, but back then it was a big deal, for sure.
Pero bueno, al menos en mi caso, así fue como pues llegué a ese meeting point.
Yes,
Donde,
we'll all get to that meeting point.
Ajá, donde llegué y conocí bueno, y ya en esa clase fue donde conocí a Pete.
Exactly. So my turn. So in my case, I've really enjoyed going to the gym ever since like probably around 7th grade. My mom would drop me off at Sammy Lozano's place on Saunders, Lozano's gym. I started working out there. I've always...
No recollection of it.
Well, you guys weren't even born yet, probably. But I started working out there, fell in love with really working out and training and stuff like that. So I've always kind of been into it, and I've been to every gym here in town. I was with Santos for a while after, during high school. I went to a few gyms when I was in college in San Antonio. When I got back, I think it was called It was The Rock, but it was Body Factory back then. Then when they opened Gold's there on Del Mar, it was a brand new place. So me and Gabby joined there at Gold's. And sometime in 2013, I was on the what machine?
GHD machine.
The GHD machine.
And he hung out there every single day. I don't know what he was trying to
was working on the glutes. Glutes and abs.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I had seen his picture and it said P90X.
Just to paint a bit of a better picture, he always wore the same shirt every single day.
It wasn't the same shirt, but it was the same
Hanes
style.
T-shirt.
It wasn't Hanes either, it was Calvin Klein.
It was Hanes.
Just like my chones.
No, actually, it was Fruit of the Looms.
No, it was like my chones. So I saw a picture there that he was coaching a P90X class. I had never met him before. It was, I don't know what part of 2013 it was. But, I was kind of bored of doing my own thing. Every now and then you just want to turn off your brain and have somebody tell you what to do. So I asked him about it. He said, hey, I'm giving it tomorrow. Try it. And ever since then, I think, we fell in love with the P90X class. And that's where I met this guy. And obviously this guy who was coaching it.
Dude, I guess to go back into before I met these two, kind of like our meeting points, right? Mm-hmm. So where I started from was, going back to how I got into fitness is, I've always been in fitness. I've always been all my life, ever since 3rd, 4th grade, basketball. So when I got into college, everybody assumed I was going to study fitness because that was my thing. I tried a different road. I was like, you know what, let me try automotive technology. I like working with cars as well. It turns out that was a bad idea. I even tried to work on my car sometimes.
I think we could have told him that. Yeah. Back then, no.
That was my first thought, what? Fuck?
The only person that told me it was a good idea was me. Everybody else told me, was like, what are you doing? So, I wanted to try a different road, but it turns out, I changed my major. I went into kinesiology at LCC. I studied 2 years there. That's why I stayed so long in college, because I studied a lot. From LCC, I went to TAMU. I graduated fitness and sports there, which is now called kinesiology. But along the lines, I was working at Academy. I was in the sports department. I know a bit of a shocker there. But then after Academy, I transitioned to GNC and I started studying supplements there. But along the lines, I was getting my certification for personal training. While I was working at GNC and studying for PT, that's when I met Oscar. Now that if anybody knows Oscar from Gold's Gym, I got an interview with him, and I wasn't certified yet. And that interview was kind of tough. It was him and I think I forgot who the owner at the time was, but I just remember him there. It kind of made it tough on me. That interview was a little bit tough, but I told him, you know what? I don't know how to program. I've never trained anybody in my life. But give me some time and I'll get it right. I'll make sure to learn. I'll understand. I'll learn on my own. I'll get there. Just trust me. And he took a chance on me, and I became a personal trainer with Gold's. A year later, after I was hired there by Gold's, that's when I started looking into the P90X certification. And to me, P90X is kind of what I guess made me more popular. Is what made me, all right, he's Tony. He's that P90X coach. Right. And I started really, really pushing it. And it was like they paid for my certification, and they said, if you're going to be the certified coach, then you're going to have to push the program. So I did. And I started talking to people. I started doing trial classes. And I started, trying to get as many people in there. So when he was
selling us on it, bro. He was a salesman.
So when I did the consultation with Jesus Cortez, you guys, if you kind of get a visual of how true he looked back in the day, if you think about coming to America, the spray, what is it called?
The Soul Glow.
The Soul Glow. That was true. That's exactly what it looked like.
The curly hair.
Here comes the guy with the Soul Glow getting the chair kind of wet. I was talking to him.
You had curly long hair for sure. You're doing much better now.
If you can do pop-ups, look for that photo. I know you have it. But he had that curly hair. And I sold him on it. I talked to him about it. You know what? There's this P90X program. It's weight training along with circuit training, and it's 3 days a week. We're going to start it off. Chest and back, legs, shoulders and arms, we're working out everything. It's a proven program. Come try it out. I'm sure you'll like it. And when he showed up, sure, he enjoyed it. But it was along the same lines where I'm doing my walkthroughs around the gym, and I'm talking to people, selling people on this program, and I go over to the GHD machine with the bald guy with the white Hanes shirt. He's just always doing the same thing on every single day, and that's how I met this guy. He was, he was 39 around that time.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking right now, I'm 37. I'm about to be the age where I met this guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. I was 39.
What are you, around 52, 53?
That was about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
So,
exactly 10 years ago. So,
yeah.
So we started that class. It just so happened with the class that they started, it was pretty much all guys around that time. I had an evening class and a morning class. And it just kind of turned into its own thing because everybody who tried P98 or everybody who was in the P98 group, we kind of became a little bit of community. And we did the P98 class, and then I stuck around because obviously it's my job there, and they stuck around because they wanted to do some extra work, and that's how it started continuing, flowing, and we just became this group, tight-knit group that we all trained together.
Yeah. Y me acuerdo cómo comenzó esa progresión de comenzar a hacer más. Primero, creo que terminamos, duraba 3 meses el programa, ¿no?
Yes.
P90X terminaba el primer.
It's a 3-month program, and then it just continued going. So, I had to change it up. I had to, because I didn't want you guys getting bored, so I really had to push you.
Sí, porque yo hice los primeros 6 meses prácticamente. Y luego creo que me tomé un break de un ciclo y luego regresé otra vez.
Yeah.
Entonces, no sé si ahí fue cuando hiciste los cambios de 7 de la mañana, 6 de la mañana y todo
Yeah,
eso.
when he made me wake up super early.
It became a little bit popular.
Y quick note rápidamente, y esto es porque ahorita que estoy aquí también con Bodify y veo mucha gente que de repente tiene la excusa de que dice, no, es que vivo muy lejos, me queda muy lejos el gimnasio. Y en ese entonces vivía en Nuevo Laredo.
Oh, wow.
Entonces me levantaba a las 5 de la mañana para estar en el puente a las 5:15 y poder llegar antes de las 6 a la clase.
That's right.
Entonces
Wow,
eso lo hice
dedicated.
durante 6 meses.
And then work all day.
Y luego trabajar obviamente todo el día.
So no excuses.
Sí, entonces simplemente hay una pequeña nota. Pero regresando a lo del programa, me acuerdo que comenzamos y pues ya justamente cuando hiciste el cambio de...
Edit that out.
Justamente cuando hiciste el cambio de horario, creo que fue donde ya nos tocó a Pidi y a mí en la misma clase. Más que Pidi hacía 7 de la mañana. No me acuerdo exactamente. Pero el punto fue que estábamos en clase y siempre como que en Group Fitness siempre estás como que, de cierta manera, si eres competitivo, si ves a la otra persona que no para, tú sigues, ¿no? Entonces, este cabrón tampoco nunca paraba y
Nobody was gonna beat
de
this
cierta
guy.
manera todavía ni lo conocía, pero como que te empujas entre mantener el paso de los demás, ¿no? Si sientes que alguien tiene el mismo nivel de fitness que tú, o puedes mantener el paso a alguien más y dices, ok, puedo. Entonces creo que por eso es lo padre de Group Fitness. Y creo que de ahí pues comenzamos a entrenar juntos en cuanto a la clase y posteriormente de que, ¿qué hacemos ahora? No, pues 10 minutos de cardio.
Yeah.
Ok, hice una clase y 10 minutos de cardio. ¡Tómala! Así de hardcore éramos al principio. Y luego posteriormente, creo que comenzamos a hacer cardio y luego que, no sé, unos pull-ups, ¿no? Bueno, que ni hacíamos pull-ups todavía. Hacíamos chin-ups.
Yeah.
Y creo que todavía con las
I
bandas
was
y
in
todo
the
eso.
second floor. It was
Sí.
I was like a 12 by 10 studio.
Yeah, a little glass room there.
Yeah, the glass. It was. Yeah.
But then we started working out on the days because this was only 3 times a week. So
Sí.
then we would start working out on our off days
Los
too.
martes y jueves, una cosa
So
de esas.
we became, like you said, like a little family, man, a little group that would train together, and they kind of got, it was really the seed that planted this whole story was that class and those people, to be honest with you, because those people ended up, being some of our first, clients at Bodify, to be honest with you, or people that started at that time.
Pero creo que también lo que hizo como esa pequeña comunidad y esa Bodify Family, como le quieras llamar, fue, como lo hemos platicado en otros podcasts, o sea, de que comenzó en esa clase y luego comenzamos a conocer más personas por medio de esa clase o gente que le gusta o que, oye, me gusta lo que están haciendo y se comenzaron a unir. Y luego viene la parte de Tough Mudder, ¿no?
Yeah.
El Tough Mudder, que es esta
I don't know
competencia.
who planted that seed of Tough Mudder.
I remember it was Jenny. Jenny Sanchez was the one that came up to me.
Bueno, yo había
Middleton.
hecho uno en el 2013 y el primero que hicimos en grupo fue en el 2014 probablemente.
Yes.
Y me acuerdo que me dijeron, oye, todos los de la clase estamos planeando hacer esta carrera, no sé qué tanto, entonces como que, es como que sí, yo ya la hice el año pasado, está súper padre. Entonces, aparte de la clase de PNX, creo que empezamos a entrenar como por fuera, ¿no? O sea, agarramos, nos adueñamos de Gold Gym básicamente.
That's when Rick, I forgot his last name, Rick, but Rick started calling us the Cardio Cartel.
Yeah.
Because
Rick
there was a group of us.
Ricky
and
Varial, yeah.
Rick Varial, yes. And he always saw us train P90X, and then afterwards we're on the treadmills or whatever.
Right.
We're doing some
So
kind
the
of
Tough
cardio.
Mudder was like a 10, 11 mile race, no? I mean, it was something like that. And back then that was, a lot for us.
Yeah, and a quick point in this timeline. At this point, I'm personally training Mundo and Olga.
Yes.
Around
On,
that
on,
time.
on the side,
On
because
the
we
side.
hadn't
So
met them
I'm
yet.
training them, and they're there as part of the group. So Mundo's kind of in the center of it all, watching all this happen.
Yeah. So, the Tough Mudder kind of got us, started on the, on the obstacle course racing train as well, which really solidified, our friendship and how much we would hang out with each other, because then we started training, 6 days a week at least, so we were seeing each other a lot. So then, are we going to get into kind of the Bodify story?
Ok, pues yo creo que de ahí
Oh, it
comenzamos a entrenar y platicábamos un poquito, ¿no? De que, porque veíamos
There's a
lo que
big
queríamos.
point that you're missing before we get into the birth of Bodify.
Ok.
Oh, I know the Spartan one's coming up.
Oh yeah, there
That
you
was
go.
going to be part of the
Oh,
beginning,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's the beginning. That's the
Refer to episode.
That's the
Exactly. Refer to
You know what?
episode whatever.
We'll talk about this after our sponsors. No, that's really this big seed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We
So-
did a couple Tough Mudders. I think we did 3 together as a group. Kind of the same group, 3, and then we mentioned it in one of our podcasts, but just so you guys that didn't
Well,
hear
yeah,
it.
Tough Mudder really, I guess brought us together because Tough Mudder is more of a team sport.
Yeah.
And everybody that we started traveling, but even to finish those races, you need some help on those
Oh, for sure.
obstacles.
For sure.
But before I forget, on Tough Mudder.
Tough
Not
Mudder.
here, I don't think
It is. The jumping right there. That one right there.
Oh, there it is, right here. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it, but this one up
I
here.
think you can.
Pero ahí la pongo en la.
I'm on my third life right now because this guy saved my life twice. There was this one thing called was it a 14-foot plank? I think it's 14-foot plank.
14, 15.
It's a
something like
14-foot plank. You jump into 10 to 20-foot pool of mud, and I'm like, I'm gonna skip this. I can't float. All I do is just sink. If I jump, I'm pretty much just giving my life away. But he's like, no, let's do it. Don't be a wuss. He said it.
that. Yeah.
He said it in a much harsher way. But he brought me to the plank, and he just said, you know what, on 3, let's jump. And this is the first time. He jumps at maybe 10 feet forward.
Right. I jumped, you fell.
I just fell.
Yeah.
Like, I try to decrease the amount of space between me and the water.
Right.
So I just fell, and then he comes up, and he's looking around, and I'm not there, and I'm over here going like this, I'm sinking.
Far from me, yes.
But I feel his arms, and then he grabs my arm, and he starts pulling me to the edge.
So that's I saved his life the first
That
time.
was the first one, and as he brought me to the edge, people are cheering. Like, this guy didn't
was a
die.
hero.
Yeah, he saved me. The second time around, it was kind of the same story, except I jumped a little further.
Yes.
And still, same result.
It's like a rock.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't float.
You could do this.
Exactly the reverse.
Yeah, it's the reverse.
I don't know. I don't know. But this guy saves me, and then even the lifeguard jumped in, which is a little bit more embarrassing. Not once did I say, "Let me train,
learn how to
before we
swim."
go to the next Tough Mudder. No,
No.
I'm just like, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Wow.
So at least I knew he trusted me with his life because he knew. I mean, what kind of bravery does it take to a guy that doesn't know how to swim and he jumped into water like that? So he trusted me. I told him I'd save him, and I did.
That is a trust fall of all trust falls.
Exactly. So it started, but definitely we became really, really good friends, us three. And, when you suffer that much together in our trainings and stuff like that, it just builds that camaraderie. I think we've mentioned that before, and we practice it here with our Spartans here at Bodify. But you do make that bond, and look at us now. 10 years later, we're still doing our thing. But yeah, you're right. Those Tough Mudders really solidified us, and then we thought we were badasses, and I googled the hardest race in the United States, and we found it. We did.
Quite literally.
Yes. Oh, yeah. The exact words. The toughest race in the United States. And then the biggest thing I did was I convinced them to go with me. Once we figured out, and we still didn't know how hard it was going to be.
I think that was my first time, further San Antonio.
So we went to Killington, Vermont, and we did. It was called the Ultra Beast back then. It ended up being 32 miles and close to 70 obstacles. And back then, Spartan was hardcore. We didn't know what we were getting into. We read about it. We knew it was going to be hard, but holy shit, it was brutal. I think we took 14 and a half hours to finish it.
Yeah.
We started in the dark and we finished in the dark.
Hay un episodio específicamente
we'll reference it,
de esa carrera y bueno, los voy a poner aquí en pantalla para que vean cuál es exactamente y puedan escuchar a detalle esa historia, pero pues básicamente fue mucho del comienzo y después de ahí creo que, o sea, lo que teníamos en mente era simplemente un lugar que podíamos hacer, o sea, el group fitness, pero agregando otros elementos, porque veíamos la comunidad, la parte de la comunidad, la parte de cómo con, por ejemplo, Spartan Race y Tough Mudder cambiamos de cierta manera el mindset de otras personas, y eso pues básicamente se volvió como adictivo, ¿no? Entonces, no sé en qué punto ustedes se comenzaron también
what did it for me, and I'll kind of get into it.
Turning 40 at that time.
Yeah, I was getting close to 40, and I had always wanted to open up a gym or a fitness facility, and nothing against big box gyms. I've worked out there, and they work for a guy like me that is dedicated and disciplined and kind of knows what he's doing a bit. So I had always worked at a place like that because that was what was common back in before, 10 years ago. That's what was around. So, but I always thought you would look around and you would see a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, that horrible form, who were unmotivated. And then they were in and out. They would, they're probably paying for their membership, but they're not really going to the gym anymore. And big box gyms love that. You don't show up, but you're still paying them. So I just thought that there was a better I can do it better, or we can do it better. There's a product out there that I can get into, and then I'm turning 40. If I don't do it soon, I'm not ever gonna do it. I'm an accountant by trade, and I've been that since I graduated college. So I figured, man, I'm gonna, if I don't do it now, this will never happen. And it was always a dream of mine, and I'm very goal oriented. So then this guy kind of, I know I'll let him tell his part of it, but he kind of was thinking the same thing. He had been at Gold for a while, and I'll kind of let him take over from there.
But just going back to why did we say yes to the race? But if I think back, I was at a point in my life where something wasn't going well in my life.
Because we thought we were fucking unstoppable.
Exactly.
We did Tough Mudder.
Yeah.
Y la última vez que hicimos Tough Mudder, creo que lo terminamos. Dijimos, vamos a hacer otra vuelta. Y nos fuimos a hacer otra vuelta. Hicimos un Tough Mudder como de 20 millas.
So we had done some stuff like that. But to me, in my life, at that point, I don't know what was going on. But it's a funny story. You know, I saw this movie, Yes Man. It's a comedy movie, but there's some philosophy into it where it says, "Just say yes to everything and see what happens." And at that point in my life, I took it to heart because I don't know what was going through my head at the time. So I just started saying yes to everything. And this guy brought it up. It's not something normally I would have done, but I said yes. You know, let's do it. So that, you know, just finishing that race, like you said, is just complete different mentality after that.
Ahora, como digo, o sea, ¿por qué lo hicimos? Porque sí, pensábamos que éramos bien chingones y todo eso. y pues vamos a Vermont y ahí ahora sí de que zurras a cuál cabrón.
Oh, yeah, you're not that badass.
No, o sea, exacto. Y entonces,
you can get better.
Creo que todavía es ese, digo, traíamos un buen mindset dentro de la disciplina y lo que queríamos hacer, pero llegamos a ese punto, decimos, oye, todavía hay más que recorrer todavía, o sea, vamos empezando.
Yeah. It was very humbling but it was a perfect race at the perfect time because I think it focused us on what was important and that you can always get better, you know, and something that all we bring to Bodify as well is, you know, no matter who you are or where you're at in your life, your fitness life, your regular life, you can always, you know, strive for better.
Yeah. So that in essence is the philosophy we've had in our heads, you know, at that point.
Right.
It was engraved in our heads of fitness is not just lifting weights and running. It's a lot more. It's functional fitness, right? But leading up to the idea of Bodify, I think at that point, I was in a relationship and I ended up moving to Dallas, Texas.
That's right. Yeah.
I lived in Dallas close to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And living in Dallas, I started working for Gold's over there, and that was Gold's Gym's corporate. And at the same time, I was trying to, you know, be my own independent trainer, learning more things. But what I learned a lot from over there is the mentality was very different when it came to Gold's Gym. Is they train their trainers differently, or they looked at the training profession in a different way as opposed to here. But along the way, I was still making trips down here. I was still coming, you know, I missed home and I still partied with these guys. But along the lines, you know, we brought up the whole, you know, we should start a gym. Like, the whole conversation, people get drunk and they're like, hey, we should start a band.
Wait. ¿Saben cómo se iba a llamar Bodify? O sea, ¿cuál era dentro de las posibilidades?
No, hombre.
¿Te acuerdas?
No, I don't remember.
X Factor.
Oh, yes.
His favorite. He fought for it hard.
You know what?
I shut that shit down quick.
X Factor. Put it in the list.
Y tal vez me estoy adelantando, porque esto es...
We can still get a division of Bodify called X Factor. But no, you know, I was still coming down, and this guy would always tell me, you know, we should open that gym. And he, you know, I always remember his words. Shit. I always remember the words. Give me a business plan. Give me a business plan.
Right.
And the first time he said it, I was like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. All I had just trainer mentality. But there was this one point in December. Things weren't going somewhere in Dallas, and then I came down to a party at the ranch. At what is it called?
Las Blancas.
Las Blancas Ranch, one of those, you know, famous get-togethers who always hung out together. And there was this one moment we were in the kitchen in the ranch. It was kind of close to late at night, and I still remember that moment. I don't know what I was. I think I was drinking apple juice at the time, and I told him again, you know what? It's time. Finally, let's open a gym. And he's like, yes, I already told you. Just give me a business plan. And I don't know how further that conversation went, but it led to us finally making that decision to where he said, right, if you come back down to Laredo, we'll make it happen. 2 weeks later, I moved back down to Laredo, and we got the ball rolling.
Yeah. We worked on that business plan together because he would never give it to me. So.
Well, the idea on that, I said, and he kind of was already thinking it, was I feel like Laredo lacks very good quality in training. Is like you know, I've worked for a couple of gyms. I've seen what other trainers do, and I feel like Laredo really needs a place to where, like, you know what, this is the place you're going to train to get the best possible personal training.
Exactly.
The highest quality personal training, and I feel like that's lacking, and, you know, let's build it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, so we started looking for places. We settled on one there in Crescent Loop. We we started rolling with it. He was kind of taking care of the fitness aspect of it because I had never, you know, obviously been associated with a gym or worked at a gym or anything like that. I'm like I said, an accountant by trade, so I know business, but I don't know the fitness industry. So it just made like a good partnership. And then we ran out of money. Then I ran out of money. So
por eso los veían en la esquina de Crescent Loop también.
Yeah, so I was begging for money. So
and there was no OnlyFans back in the day, so
yeah,
we couldn't raise money that way.
Exactly. So true. But we knew Mundo, and Mundo, another businessman, and I had, by that time, he had already done a Tough Mudder with us too, so we had gotten close, and he was part of the family already, of people that were working out together. So we, I remember the meeting at Palenque Grill. We told him, and he was in, so he helped me finance the project, and off we went. I think we opened, not illegally opened, in November of 2016.
Off the record?
Off the record, yes. Please don't get us in trouble. And then we finally got our certificate of occupancy and everything. And I think our grand opening, our official opening day is December 16th of 2016. So we're almost, we're coming up on our 7-year anniversary here pretty soon. I think we're at the end of November right now, so we're almost there, man. So
y dentro de este proceso yo nada más me acuerdo cuando una vez me invitaron a lo que fue la junta con A.B. Barrera, que fue para ver el logotipo.
Yeah.
Entonces que platicábamos de los colores, qué significa Bodify para nosotros, o sea, como íbamos básicamente dándole forma.
The SWAT meeting.
Ajá.
Oh, yeah.
Y es ahí donde estaba Tony de que X Factor, ves que va a ser X Factor, ¿no?
Yeah.
Y de cierta manera yo sí veía así como que, ok, el logotipo ya cuando eso fue un negocio, ¿no? Ya de que lo tienes allá afuera y con que, ok, X Factor, pero dentro de la asesoría que nos dieron con Evi Barrera es que la X usualmente es asociada con algo negativo, ¿no? Con algo malo.
Yeah.
Entonces, ok, ustedes son los expertos.
It was like extreme or like CrossFit, like it was too much. It wasn't inviting.
Sí, y dentro de aquí, digo, un pequeño paréntesis, a mí me encanta también el área de marketing y aprendí muchísimo de ese proceso que vi que
with A.B. and Paco.
A.B. y Paco, grandes profesionales. Y finalmente presentaron el logo en varios colores, ¿no?
Right.
En varios colores.
Bunch of different designs too, yeah.
Sí.
There was this one girl that came up with the name. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
I don't want to not give her credit, but she came up with the name.
I'll remember in a little bit.
¿Cintia o qué era?
No.
De idea con Paco también, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sí, de quién hablan. Pero me acuerdo que era el logotipo y ese era la primer, ya que estaba el logotipo final, me acuerdo que me dijeron, ay, ya quedó el logo, y yo como que, a ver, quiero verlo. Entonces es obviamente el logotipo que ustedes ya conocen, y dije, ok, bien, me gusta, o sea, es algo, creo que en lo personal aquí lo veía yo como algo lo veo bastante auténtico, y pues era básicamente el nuevo escudo que íbamos a representar de cierta manera, ¿no?
Yeah. So, we started Bodify and, really, it was him coaching classes. It was me coaching classes. We hired a couple people, but I'm not going to lie, man, it was tough.
Dan
was that was our first call. Coach Dan, if you guys know him, I've known him since we were kids. So that was, he worked at Gold's Gym, and I know it was a big, he didn't know what we were going to be and what we were going to be able to do, but he trusted us, and he really was our first hire when it came to coaching, because I trusted him, and like I said, he's been my friend for a long time, and Tony trusted him, and he's been a help. He's still with us today, and he's always, in my ear, and right hand kind of guy. So, those first couple years were, brutal there on Crescent Loop. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it was building up a business is tough. I'm not gonna say we were ever close to quitting on it, because it was a dream, and I'm very stubborn. But financially, it was a tough road there for the first couple years.
It was, people walk in and I'd be like,
It was stressful, man, because we had never really done this before, you know, and we're not a franchise, you know. We came up with everything. We made a lot of mistakes. We did a lot of good, but we always focused, and it's something that I've always focused on in my business career is don't chase the dollar. Just do a good job, and then money will come. You know, I've always believed in that. Is if you're doing a great job, people are going to pay you for it. So I always had that in the back of my head, like we might not be making the money yet, but as long as we keep on changing people's lives and just doing the best work that we can, people are going to notice, and eventually, you know, financially we'll be okay. So just keep on making the right decisions, and if you make a mistake, you know, change it as quick as you can, and go with it, and do your best. And that's kind of what I would tell them all the time. Like, yeah, you know, we're stressed out, but it's going to work out. You know, we got to believe it's going to work out. So that third year, it kind of took a turn. You know, we started, you know, making a little bit of money. Nothing that was going to feed us, but definitely it kind of changed there. But
there was light at the end of the tunnel.
There was light at the end of the tunnel, exactly. So I think we had like kind of perfected. It took a little while to perfect what we were, and because we started off being more like thinking we were going to be more personal training, and group training was just kind of a side deal that was we were going to offer because he did it with the P90X, and you know, we ended up turning into more of group training than it was PT. I mean, we still do PT, but our biggest thing, you know, even to this day, is group training. So,
y creo que también, por ejemplo, de ahí es donde nace todo lo que es Strong, ¿no? O sea, creo que...
We started with HIIT.
Sí, por eso, hacia allá voy. Es cuenta que donde ahorita está Strong, detrás de Strong hay, bueno, no sé, un montón de tipo de clases, que todas esas clases, o sea, básicamente, ok, esta clase de HIIT, esto es lo mejor y esto funciona.
Right.
Esta clase de P90X, esto fue lo que nos funcionó, esto fue lo que jaló y aquí está.
Lots of trial and error.
O sea, mucho trial and error, y luego no sé si por ahí hubo clases que nos sacamos también de así,
we did booty class, we did abs,
sí.
we different types of HIIT, ripped.
Entonces todo eso básicamente, o sea, vamos eligiendo lo mejor.
Taking the good and leaving out the bad.
On the HIIT, we started out as 30-minute classes.
30-minute class.
También,
And
yes.
then we increased it to 45. And then, yeah, we transitioned to the hour.
Y bueno, y todo esto, pues básicamente es como trial and error, ¿no? O sea, todo lo que ha sido a través de los años, y ahora sí que con los miembros ha sido pruebas de qué es lo que funciona, qué es lo que no funciona. Entonces, dentro de lo que ven ustedes en el programa de Strong, hay 7 años de trial and error y de
testing.
Puedo decir miles de personas ya ahora sí que han estado con nosotros y que hemos visto lo que mejor funciona, y por eso creo que es el éxito de lo que tiene ahora Strong, que es un programa hecho en casa, hecho por Bodify, y que trae toda esa...
It's a hybrid of all those classes.
No se nos acabó de ocurrir el año pasado ni nada, simplemente es todo esto que se ha ido transformando en lo que es el programa de Strong, y también así como lo hemos hecho con otras clases como Spartan.
Right. We always try to get better, yeah.
Que este año hicimos unos ajustes, no porque estuviera mal, sino porque siempre queremos buscar mejorar, y creo que también en la parte de Spartan mejoramos increíblemente. Pero en cuanto al programa de Strong, pues viene del morph de todos estos, de todas estas clases, y sobre todo que está respaldado por la cabeza de acá de este señor. Que si vieran la cantidad de libros que lee, cree, de repente estamos platicando en las juntas y empieza a hablar bien científico, le digo, espérate, güey. Sí, como que, tranquilo, o sea, cálmate, entendemos la ciencia, pero...
Exactly.
Entonces sí, también las clases están compuestas por mucho, digo, de lo que nosotros hemos probado, y lo que también Tony aporta siempre con todo su conocimiento, y eso es lo que al final ha sido el producto que hoy es Strong.
Yeah, we think I mean, it's never perfect, you know, we're always like, we'll probably keep on modifying it throughout the years, but we truly believe in this product, you know, it's been tested, we know you're going to get results. We're going to keep it fun. We're going to keep it safe, but we're going to, we're going to challenge you, and if anything, I don't want his head to get too big, but if, if there's anything that I know he's really, really good at and he's an expert at, it is programming and coming up with these workouts for you guys. That is his forte. So don't get too excited. There's not many.
I was gonna throw it to them is throughout the years of trial and error. We study the sciences. We see other workouts that we know work, but we always let the members tell us exactly how we're gonna transition. We're not always just gonna, all right, we're gonna do these workouts because this is what we want to do. What do the members enjoy? Apart, we still have to do the workouts that we know are going to get results, but we don't want to stray away from the science either. But we also want to give you the best experience. So we kind of, put those things together, and we let that take us into the future. And this is why we have what we have now with our Strong program.
Exactly, and yes. and good point. We care. Really, that's kind of the mantra of Bodify. It's we have people that have been with us from the beginning. I've been with them through the good times. I've been with them through bad times for them. We've been, they've had kids, or they've had, a death in the family. The what sets us apart, I think, is that this family atmosphere that we created. This wasn't popular 7 years ago. This small boutique kind of gyms that really created what we created, and I'm really, really proud of what we created. Is I know these people, he knows these people, Chewy knows these people. Like I said, some of them have been with us from the beginning, where we know. I mean, they're family members. All the people that are coming in, I tell our staff, like, this is different. We're different. We care. We truly care. It's not just financial for us. It is about giving them a good product, changing people's lives. I'm proud that, we can, I work out here. My wife works out here. He works out here. He works out here. My whole staff pretty much works out here. Because we can train anybody for anything. We can train. We've had power lifters work out here. We've had bodybuilders work out here. We had wrestlers. Pole vaulter. Yeah, pole vaulter. We've had CrossFitters. We've had Spartan athletes, deck athletes,
Disney princesses.
Disney princesses. We have people that just want to look good naked. It's like we can handle it all here, and that just sets us apart, because we're not all cardio. We're not all lifting weights. We're a nice blend, and we take everybody's situation, where they are in their fitness life, and we make it work for them. And not being a franchise and being a small local business allows us to do that. We can move on the fly, and we can change something for you. My trainers are trained to make your experience the best that you can have, what's going to work for you. So I truly take pride in that. And, this guy comes up with the programming that works. This guy helps me run it. I mean, we're all friends. We're all, more than friends. It's family, and I feel that way about all of our staff. So it's a different place, I don't...
Un lugar que también tenemos miembros desde Crescent Loop, ¿no?
Yeah.
Bodify, pues, comenzó comenzó en una bodega, ¿no? ¿Te acuerdas?
Yeah.
Estábamos en una bodega primero.
Shout out to Mayra and her husband.
And Gumen,
yeah. Y luego, pues, estuvimos en Crescent Loop. Posteriormente fue la bodega.
When I was
transitioning,
when I left Gold's Gym, I'm gonna say I left Gold's Gym. Then I was talking to Mayra and Gumen around the time, and they still wanted
before Legacy. Yeah.
They still wanted the classes to continue going on, so they allowed me to use their warehouse their air conditioning.
Que ahora es las oficinas de Gume de Royal Express.
yeah, exactly. Before he moved in. Yeah.
And that place wasn't an easy place to reach either.
No.
So all the members that kind of joined me over there, I really appreciate they joined me in the warehouse. After the warehouse,
those people were probably our first ones to change the Bodify.
Yeah,
our first.
And
Gabby.
Faz, I think, was there too. Gabby would go. I think Gabriela Martinez. So everybody, my P90X people at the time for X Factor training, they moved over to once we opened up a Crescent Loop. They were the first clients there.
Y después de ahí, the Crescent Loop fue.
Then we moved over here.
Yeah,
we
were here. We were over there for about 3.5 years on Crescent Loop, and then we started construction over here on McPherson, where we are right now. But then COVID happened, so we were supposed to move in January of 2020 here, and I think due to COVID and construction, I think we were shut down for a few months, and then we ended up, I think we moved in July of 2020, and we've been here ever since.
Yeah. In July before COVID, y luego después South.
Yeah, and then and like I said, fast forward, to where we are right now. We're here at the end of 2023. A couple months ago, we made our first, our second location, which is in the south, is on Lomas del Sur in the South Gate. We opened October 2nd, 2023. So once we felt, comfortable in the program, and like I said, we think we're onto something with our programming. We took that to the south, and that's going successful. I think the people are happy there. It's fun meeting new people in a new neighborhood. I think they welcomed us with open arms, and actually we have our grand opening over there on the 14th of December, a few days before our 7-year anniversary, and we'll have our ribbon cutting. So you guys are more than welcome to join us there. It'd be fun to have a nice crowd of all of our Bodify family there.
Pero pues como pueden escuchar o ver, pues Bodify es un producto totalmente local. Me da gusto de repente también cuando hay miembros que nos preguntan, oye, ¿tienen una sucursal en San Antonio o tienen algo en no sé, en el Valle, algo así?
Not yet.
Not yet. Pero tratamos también de ser lo más profesional posibles, porque ahí es donde está la parte del crecimiento, creo, ¿no? También ser organizados. Nos encanta saber los nombres de cada uno de los miembros, y el crecimiento pues ha sido un gran reto en la parte del sentido de que pues de repente vemos gente que no sabemos quién es, pero da gusto que oye, ¿quién es esta persona? Es una persona nueva. Ok, que perfecto. Entonces que la familia Bodify sigue creciendo, tanto aquí en el norte como ahora en el sur, y bueno, pues simplemente si ustedes nunca han tomado una clase aquí, vengan.
Absolutely.
Sin compromiso, tomen una clase y llévense la experiencia para que ustedes vean de lo que se trata, pues, esta comunidad, ¿no?
Yeah. It was built on actually competition and I feel like competitive, is not just being competitive with other people, being competitive with yourself, and I think that's one of our building blocks here at Bodify is I'm very competitive, he's very competitive, and we tried to put that because I think everybody needs a little bit of competitiveness in their life, and it's not, like I said, about being competitive with the person next to you. If you're competing against them, good for you, but for those people that, I'm not a competitive person, well, we try to give you we plant that seed to, to where, yeah, okay, but we keep on watering the seed, and it's really not about being competitive with the other person. Like I said, it's about being competitive with yourself. And if you could only lift that last month, let's push you. My coaches are gonna they're gonna test you, and they're gonna push you a little bit, and that breeds progress, and everybody comes to the gym to succeed a little bit, and that's what we want to push you a little bit to, so you can experience those wins. Everybody wants those wins, and it makes you feel better, and along the way you make friends, you know, and you become part of this family that we've built here. And I mean, if you guys can stay with us forever, I'd love it, because I love having you guys here.
You know, it's a bit cliche to say it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. You hear that all the time. And yes, you come here, you will be challenged, but you will be challenged at your own pace, because that's what is going to force your body to adapt. And when your body adapts to these certain things, that's when your body starts to change. And once you start seeing these changes, that's what gets so addicting. And yeah, you start seeing results within yourself. And, you know, it makes us proud that we're helping you get there, and to see you grow as not only in your strength or seeing your results, but mentally.
Absolutely.
Just, you know, it becomes
that's what I wanted to say.
It becomes a lifestyle, because we don't want to train you to just get results 1 month to the next because you have because beach season is coming. We want you to have a better quality of life, because your mindset was changed here in Bodify. Exactly. And you know, we're going to continue to grow. These programs are going to continue to get better and better. But what's never going to change is we're always going to be about the community. We're always going to be about the member. You know, don't think that when you walk in and maybe we don't say hi to you that day, but don't worry, we'll catch you at some point. We always want to know who's coming in and walking into these doors, because we care about the member, and we take it personal when you don't see results here and we're wondering what's happening with you. We take your program personally, and we want you to see results.
Y creo que es algo que también hemos estado llevando ya fuera de aquí de Bodify con los eventos de DECA, el hacer esta comunidad fitness, que se acercan otros gyms, como por ejemplo TrimFit, saludos a Dave y a Claudia, también a South's Bootcamp, a Eric, también la gente de Fit Club también de repente que se acercan, y otros gyms también que se forman parte de esta comunidad fitness en Laredo, que es enorme, y es un gusto ver que pues al menos el Laredo, pues tenemos pues básicamente algo cerca donde estés, y qué mejor manera de celebrar esto con toda la comunidad de Laredo, y otros gimnasios, entonces es algo que va creo que de las raíces de Bodify, el celebrar y bueno, y compartir todo este fitness, ¿no? con toda la gente que...
It's a beautiful thing, man, the fit life. But not only physical, like you said, mentally. You know, we take care of you mentally too, and we'll push you, but
always.
Tony, closing.
I have no closing statement. That was my that was my closing statement.
You did good.
Pedro?
Good.
Closing statement.
Just, you know, thank you guys for allowing us 7 years of serving you. You know, it really is a passion for all of us. You know, we wouldn't be doing it if we weren't passionate about it. The greatest thing for me is those stories, or being a part of somebody's story that, you know, they started from here and they're here now and they're continuing to go. Whatever that is, whether it's physically, mentally, both, you know, I like being a part of that story. That's what, you know, brings me, you know, joy beyond, you know, anything else. That's what Bodify does, gives to me. You know, it gives back to me that you know, when I see somebody start from here and see them a couple years later doing Spartan racings or DECA, or, you know, posting on social media, you know, a selfie because they're proud of themselves, you know, all of that stuff, you know, it just feeds my heart, makes me feel better, and I'm proud of this place. You know, I'm proud of what, you know, the team has built. It's not only me, it's everybody that's ever worked here. You know, I truly, you know, one of these days I'm going to try to bring everybody together, you know, maybe on the 10-year anniversary and have a big party, because they helped build this.
That's what I was going to say, is take all our staff, past and present.
Yeah, you know, all the trainers that have been here and have left a little piece of themselves here. You know, and all my current staff, you know, it's you know, a bunch of great young people, and we're trying to, you know, serve our community and make these stories of success. So, you know, thank you very much. I'm glad we finally got this podcast out. You know, please listen to it. Maybe get on a treadmill, put it on and listen to our nice long podcast here, because it's an important story. We're not done yet. You know, I want to be clear about that. We're not done with. Just give us some time.
You finally put it
If
on
you know me,
TikTok.
if you know me and how competitive I am, you know, just give us some time, and we'll get to a location close to you, even if you're out of town. Promise.
Y ya por último, de mi parte, yo tengo ya, creo que voy para 20 años en radio. ¡Wow!
You're getting old, vato.
Ya voy para 20 años en radio y la radio la sigo amando, ¿no? Es una de mis pasiones y creo que una de las cosas también que más adoraba o adoro de la radio es el cambiarle el día o de cierta manera algún momento a alguna persona que escuchó algo que dije al aire y que de repente se acercaban fuera y me decían, oye Chuy, la vez pasada que mencionaste esto y esto, yo estaba pasando por esto y simplemente me hiciste reaccionar y como que me cambió mi día. Uh-huh. Entonces, cositas como esas son de las historias que les puedo compartir y es una satisfacción enorme. Y el poder hacer eso aquí en Bodify a través de workouts, de ejercicios, de Spartan, de DECA, ese comentario que me lo hacían por medio de la radio de vez en cuando y esto lo puedo ver casi día a día y personalmente es una satisfacción enorme el ver cómo las personas cambian su vida para bien. Y eso es algo que creo que también pues a mí me llena el corazón y es totalmente adictivo y es parte de mi vida y qué mejor que hay que ayudar a todos nuestros miembros y amigos con lo que es el fitness porque pues es la vida y queremos que pues ustedes formen parte de esta gran experiencia. Así que esa es prácticamente mi club.
Best job in the world, helping people. Gotta love it. So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Peace.
Hasta luego.
This episode was produced by Bodify Functional Fitness.